You'll never guess it, but that middle option on the menu? Almost nobody orders it. And that's exactly the point. Businesses design it to fail, not to sell, but to make the priciest option look reasonable by comparison. Your brain doesn't compare prices in a vacuum. It compares them to whatever's sitting next to them. So a decoy tier, overpriced and unappealing, quietly reframes everything around it. You think you're weighing value. Really, you're reacting to a rigged reference point, planted there specifically so the expensive choice feels like the smart one. You've probably already priced yourself into a bad deal today. Scroll a real estate listing and the reduced from price nudges you toward relief instead of scrutiny. Scan a restaurant menu, and that one absurd surf and turf isn't there to sell. It's there to make the second priciest steak look reasonable. Phone contracts stack a bloated plan next to the one they actually want you on. Even salary negotiations get anchored, the first number spoken quietly setting the range for everything after. None of it's random. Once you notice the fake option sitting there, doing its job, you start seeing it everywhere, which raises an uncomfortable question. Who's placing it? Your brain doesn't come with a built-in price tag. There's no internal meter that tells you a coffee is worth $4 or a salary is worth $80,000. Instead, your brain does something sneakier. It looks sideways. It checks what's nearby, what came before, what's sitting next to it on the shelf, and builds value out of that comparison. Strip away the context, and you're lost. Give you two hazy prices, and suddenly you're confident. That's not a flaw hiding in the corner. It's the whole operating system. And once value only exists in relation to something else, anyone who controls what you're comparing against controls what you decide is a good deal. Behavioral economists actually have a name for this, the decoy effect. You add a third option, one that's worse than another choice in every single way, and suddenly that other choice looks like a no-brainer. Nobody has to pick the decoy. Nobody even has to like it. It just has to sit there on the menu, doing its quiet work in the background. Its whole job is to make one option look like the obvious winner by comparison. And here's the unsettling part. Once you know to look for it, you start seeing it everywhere. Pricing pages, subscription tiers, even the drink sizes at your coffee shop. You get why the bundle felt like a steal. Now watch it happen in the wild. Behavioral economist Dan Ariely once tested this exact setup on real subscribers, using a magazine's actual pricing page. 3 choices: web-only, print-only, or print-in-web for the same price as print-alone. Nobody wanted print-only. That part's obvious. But here's the twist. Almost everyone skipped the cheap web-only plan too, and piled straight into the bundle. Not because they'd compared it to web-only, because they'd compared it to that one useless option sitting right next to it. Change the decoy, change the outcome. Same people, same options, wildly different choice. And once Ariely showed it could be engineered on purpose, everyone started asking the obvious next question. You're picturing the fake option as filler, just something cheap tossed on the shelf to make the lineup look bigger. That's wrong. It has one job, and it's precise. Lose to your intended target on every single measure, but not obviously lose to the alternative sitting next to it. Get that balance wrong, and the whole trick collapses. Too weak, and your brain ignores it. Too strong, and it starts stealing votes instead of steering them. That's why sloppy pricing tricks fail, while the good ones feel invisible. The decoy isn't there to be chosen. It's there to make one specific option look unbeatable by comparison. So how do you actually build one of these things on purpose? You catch a whiff of something off. That healthy combo meal on the menu, priced almost like the burger and fries beside it. It's not competing. It's decoration. Behavioral economists call it the sacrificial product, an option stocked, priced, and displayed with zero intention of anyone actually buying it. Its only function is comparison. Stand next to it, and the target item suddenly looks reasonable, generous, even smart. Nobody's forcing your hand. They're just rigging the backdrop so one choice glows and the others don't. It fails on purpose every single time, so its neighbor can quietly win. That's the setup. Now let's get into the mechanics, the actual anatomy of a decoy built to lose. You escape the price tag entirely once you notice it in dating and real estate. Agents will walk you through a house that's just slightly off, bad kitchen, weird layout, right before showing you the one they actually want you to buy. Suddenly it looks perfect. Same thing happens with people. Show someone a less appealing alternative first, and the real option suddenly seems more magnetic, more attractive, more right. Nobody's comparing prices there. Nobody's doing math. It's pure contrast, wired straight into perception. Comparison is the currency, not cash, not logic, not even conscious thought. And once you see that, you start wondering how deep this rabbit hole actually goes. You'd think trained analysts and data-driven pros would see right through this. They don't. Put a decoy in front of a portfolio manager, a doctor, a seasoned negotiator, same shift happens. Their preference bends the exact same way it bends for anyone else standing in a checkout line. That's the unsettling part. This isn't a gap in knowledge you can study your way out of. It's not happening in the part of your brain that reasons through options. It's happening lower, faster, before your conscious mind even gets a vote. Expertise sharpens your reasoning, sure, but the decoy never asks your reasoning for permission. It goes straight for the wiring underneath it. And that wiring is a lot older and a lot more exploitable than anyone likes to admit. You know it's coming, you know the trick, and it still gets you. Researchers have literally handed people the playbook. This option exists just to make that one look better. Ignore it, and the choices barely budge. That's the unsettling part. This isn't like a magician explaining a card trick, where knowing the method kills the illusion. Your visual cortex doesn't stop finishing an optical illusion just because you know it's an illusion. Same thing here. The comparison happens beneath the reasoning, in the perceptual machinery that decides what bigger, cheaper, or better deal even mean. You can't outthink a distortion that never asked your permission to run. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If awareness can't patch this, what actually can? You noticed the decoy once, and now you can't stop seeing it. That gym membership tier nobody picks, sitting there just to make the middle one look reasonable. The combo meal that's obscenely oversized, so the regular size feels responsible. Even the extra resume in a hiring pile can be doing this job, existing to make someone else the obvious pick. Here's the twist though, the option doesn't know it's a decoy, and neither do you when you're the one. Sometimes you're the shopper getting nudged toward the middle shelf. Sometimes you're the filler, the contrast, the thing that makes someone else's choice easy. You're not always the target. Sometimes you're the tool. You can't out-discipline a bias that operates on perception rather than logic, but you can change the question you ask. Stop asking, which of these three is best? That question hands the decoy all its power. Ask instead, what would I choose if this were the only option on the table? Strip away the competitors, and the contrast trick has nothing left to work with. No filler to make one choice look generous. No inflated shelf to make another look cheap. Just you, and the thing itself, judged on what it actually does for you, not on what it was arranged next to. That's the whole move. Change the frame, and the manipulation just evaporates.